So now we have an industry talk with the Swedish data center industry, and I have 3 board members here with me, Per and Per and Gregor. So welcome to you. Per, since you're also the chair of the board, the first question is for you. And you are called Per Åberg.
Yeah, that's correct.
And it's very unlikely that someone in the room hasn't heard about you. But just to be sure, who are the Swedish data center industry?
Yes, the Swedish data center industry is, I would say, we are a non-profitable organization, and I would describe us as a sort of one-stop shop for all the data industry people, and we're also the spokesperson for the industry to the authorities and the government, etc.
And it's membership?
It's membership-based, and we are today above 80 members, and we have a mix of members from operators to consultant firms to integrators to manufacturers, etc.
And now to the other pair.
Yep.
You had the first Nordic Data Center Week in September.
Yep.
How can we ensure a sufficient amount of talent coming into the industry? You've been living nice, quiet in the past. How will you make this transition into be far more outgoing, outspoken?
I mean, it is a huge problem. I listened to Bastian just before this conversation, and in Sweden, 60% of the data center operators have problems to recruit people constantly, and 35 has set occasionally, so it means 95% of all the industry in Sweden have huge problems. And during the data center week, we presentations in schools and so on, but that is really short term. We need to start much earlier, because it's not enough people around today. The kids that are 15, 16, if you attract them to start for technical skilled professions, it will take 5 years. So today we're fighting for the same resources in the industry. So I think we need to start when the kids are 10 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
We are thinking about actually to create a sort of data center hero movie or something, just to attract young people, because it should be cool to work in a data center, both for boys and girls. It should be the best job in the future.
And I think it will be even cooler because we see the rise of AI. AI will change the way we build data centers. Today, it's a huge problem to find technical skills to design a data center. That can be done by AI. So I think if we can inform the young generation that are not the dinosaurs like us, I mean, they're born with the iPad in their hands. So I think AI will help a lot to attract them and say, okay, this will be a sexy job.
Maybe now with Elon Musk, we even have the chip inside our brain soon.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Gregor, looking at Sweden from the rest of the world, they don't really think about Sweden as a country. They look at you as a Nordic region. How will you ensure that we have a one-stop shopping in the Nordics, and that we speak with one voice, and that we can somehow create a critical mass here, standing strong together?
I mean, we have the past, I would say, 2 years. We have been working quite closely together, those associations in the Nordics. And one example of that is the EED regulation, where we come in as one voice, a Nordic voice. We have the Data Center Week that we did in October. That's also
that was a Nordic initiative as well?
Nordic initiative. We have the Nordic AI Forum.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, a common event we did 3 weeks ago, something like that.
And what about going abroad together into the flap market, saying come to the Nordics instead?
We do.
You do that?
We had a Nordic pavilion, a data cloud in Cannes this year. We are now planning for the next year's event as well, and to do something even more Nordic, you could say.
And what is the unique point here? We have some, if you
I just want to say first, because it actually started here 3 years ago or so, I believe, because we had the first meeting between all the Nordic chairs from all the 5 countries. And at the dinner afterwards, we agreed on to start to meet. So we set up a meeting, let's say 2 weeks after, and then we have been having meetings almost every second week on Fridays to cooperate, and that has been really good. Sorry, you asked me something.
No, that's fine. Are you having drinks together with the meetings?
Yeah, we did.
That helps.
Yeah,
That helps.
it helps.
You have to party your way through.
And I think, I mean, we have quite a common view on sustainability coming from the Nordics. So going to Brussels, for example, and have a unified Nordic voice will make us much stronger, you know, in getting the message across.
And that brings me back to you, because there's a lot of legislation. We've heard about that throughout the day. Is that a disadvantage in this area, or should we embrace it somehow?
We should embrace it a lot, and like I say, it trains legislations. We have EED, we have NIS 2, we have SIR, we have the AI Act, etc., etc. And all of them will actually bring more demands on us, and in the end it also will bring more GPU and CPU, because all of the reporting. Ironic, but anyway, so that will show that the Nordics is a very good country, place to be for the data centers, because we have good environment, we have sustainable energy, we have a politically stable environment, and so on. So I think it's only good with all these legislations.
And what about transparency?
Transparency, we are good at transparency as well. And I think also because one of the problems we have maybe is that we have, for our, let's say, development, is that we don't have the decision makers with us, or the politicians. But coming from here with all these laws and so on, they need to understand what a data center is. And that's really good. And we have been having really good conversations with all these decision makers from government and down.
So we are all looking into this really exciting and interesting future for the data center industries. What do you think will be the greatest disruptions and opportunities, but also threats, looking forward from the point of view of Sweden? I don't know who will go first.
Yeah,
maybe you, Greg.
Yeah. I mean, we had a great example just before our talk here with Conapto and Fever. I think power is going to be both a threat and an opportunity that is important.
And are we ready? Do we have the capacity, or is it a shortage that is going to hold Sweden back, or is there something that can be done here and now?
Not really sure about that, because that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we are ready, but I think there's a good chance. Yeah.
I believe that we are ready if we start to cooperate. Also, the data center industry with the IT industry, because we need to combine our knowledge into these data centers, both from the software to the hardware to the physical data center. And I think we are really on speaking terms right now with the rest of the industries.
And the challenge will, of course, be, I mean, hearing Torbjörn Minde from RISE saying, okay, we will have, 1 megawatt per square meter in 6 years' time. That will be a challenge how you build and design a data center, because, I mean, it's not a small copper cable that you will have to that square meter. So it will change the way we need to design the data centers. And there, I think AI will help us a lot. Right now, AI is focused more on medical stuff, but I think in technical skilled, it will help a lot.
And new materials, maybe?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, to continue to build GPUs the way we do today, that generates heat, the best would be to build GPUs that don't generate heat, because then we can take away the cooling completely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think AI will help us a lot.
So standing a little bit out in the future, what will be the greatest disruption, changes for the better or the worse?
Well, I hope that we only see changes for the better. But I mean, if you thinking about the young people today, I would say that we probably don't even know what they're going to work with tomorrow, because those jobs are not invented yet. And I think that the future data center is not invented yet either, but it needs to go very, very quick. And I believe that AI will help us on that journey. So it's a challenge, but also a great opportunity.
And one other topic that you raised before is that I think we need to get an understanding in the society that data center, we don't consume power. It's everything we do that consume power. Every time you go outside to take the tube, you're connected to GPS. You will pay your transaction with your card. That generates something that will consume power. A data center, when it's idle, it doesn't consume power. So it's everything that we do. But I think that understanding must go out to the society, because otherwise we will be seen as power villains. Okay,
Yeah,
data center,
so
take
will you
power.
be a hero or villain?
Yeah.
And I think here maybe it would be good to have some digital twins. We were talking about simulations before, but really showing that a lot of data goes actually into being more precise, using and creating value more precisely, and avoiding wastes, really, because you can make much more clever transaction. We're talking a lot about, we used to have a cultural society, then we had the industrial society, then we had the information age. Now we're moving into a kind of the precision age. Should we have cars standing there for 25 or 95% of the time? Should we really have from the agriculture going down to our water, or could we just give it to the plants what it's needed? All this is data used for to actually calibrate and making sure that we need use the exact amount. This hyper-personalization, if you like. So I guess we need, or you need to make some calculations showing that you're actually improving sustainability in the world via data, rather than only looking on the usage. But I don't know if you have any people working on that, that kind of communication.
I mean, there are some old reports, the Smarter report, for example, showing that the ICT industry helps reducing farming by smarter farming and smarter traveling. So I think there are a lot of reports already out there, and I think we need to be more smart in showing that, because for us, nerds in the business, we know it, but I think society in general, they have no clue about it.
And then I was talking about the challenges. You haven't even talked about the geopolitical situation we are in right now. Are you not scared about the massive outrage of some kind of, I don't know, we have...
I wouldn't say that I'm scared, but I am a bit scared about let's say, the knowledge from the public and the politicians, because they don't even know what a data center is. So we still have a lot of job to do to inform that we are the heart of the society. It will stop without us, and so on. So that's a huge challenge, but I wouldn't say that I'm scared, because I can see some changes now. We have got into media with articles and so on, and get more and more interest, and that's good, because it will help us.
So, anything else to add around the future? Otherwise, I just want you to really add something on why do we need to become members of the Swedish Data Center Industry Association?
Yeah, it's a fantastic industry network.
You drink beers every Friday?
Not
with
every
the other
Friday,
Nordic
every second maybe.
Every second Friday? No, but yes?
Yeah, so I think that's, for me, that's the biggest advantage.
No, and also, I mean, we are an extremely broad association, everything from law firm to construction companies to operators. So bringing all this knowledge together gives us a huge advantage to think of what will be the future, and also exchange ideas how we can improve the business right now. So I think
so best practices, innovation, networking, collaborations.
And all member fees going back to the members somehow. So we have our working groups. We have a policy group, we have a security group, we have a marketing group, and so on. So to be a member, I mean, you would be part of a big society, get a stronger voice, but also be able to get together and use our economy for that.
And what are your dreams for moving your collaboration to the next level? Any specific profiles that you're looking for, or other ways of discussing with politicians, stronger European approach? Where would you be your best?
We hope that we
area
quite soon will be big enough to have some own employees, I would say, because we need people to work in full time. All the three of us also had other jobs beside of this. So that would be a vision for me.
Yeah.
So creating a proper organization around this, professionalizing.
I think that's a common vision with the whole board, I would say.
How big should the organization be in order to have the muscle power necessary?
A bit over 100 members, and we're today plus 80, so I think we are quite soon there.
Yeah.
But, and we also want to widen the membership, also to get in IBM, NVIDIA, and so on, because we don't have the server producers as members today, but I would like to bring them in as well. So we're a big community with all the knowledge, from software to data center.
Yeah.
Any other things to add? Because otherwise, I think
we stand beside the drinks, right?
Yeah.
You are
Okay.
between the drinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
But will you
No
be
more.
drinking drinks with us out there so we can come
Absolutely.
and talk
For
to
sure.
you? If somebody in the audience would like a full-time job promoting the data center industry, here's the chance to build up a brand new organization, strengthening the Swedish data center industry.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Let's give them a big hand.
Thank you.
So for everyone here in the room, we do invite you to drinks reception in the expo hall. Thank you for a wonderful day, everybody. Great questions along the day, and see you next year in Oslo. That will be on the 20th of March, so hope to see you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.